It looks like RoboTaxis need a serious reboot. A driverless car company curbing half of its fleet in the Golden State after a string of mishaps. The California DMV launching an investigation after a RoboTaxi collided with a fire truck on its way to an emergency. The robocar apparently had a green light, but problems with the vehicle's ability to chart the path of the fire truck led to the crash. Later that same night, a different car collided with another vehicle nearby. But none of that will stop San Francisco from rolling out a plan to greenlight a driverless bus service, which runs daily on a fixed route to test how autonomous vehicles can improve public transportation. All right. The Truth Herald is that since last year, they've made over 600 unplanned stops on the public streets of San Francisco. So why is the city now approving a bus service?
This makes no sense. I think I love it when people have big visions and big ideas and do a lot of work to try to make it happen. But at some point, when it runs into reality and collides with reality, it collides with things. And maybe you have to pause this. Like, I still have reservations about AI. Dana's made a persuasive argument to me about how China, if we pause too much, we could advance China. But this here, and you may be right, but this here, this strikes me as this is the innovation hub of the country and arguably the world, the San Francisco area. And I would hope that they don't allow hubris to get in the way of being smart and safe with how they treat and how they transport people. We've seen the data that this somehow or another could be safer than having human beings drive. Well, the data right now says it's not safe as having human beings drive. I would much rather ride on a bus with a human driving, even Jesse driving, than I would a...
Way to throw your fellow AI under the bus, Harold.
Yeah. You know, Jesse, there are over 55 incidents of these robo-taxis interfering with fire department response. Some of the delays have been up to 30 minutes. And, you know, so it's kind of ironic that these vehicles that are supposed to be safe are getting in the way of safety.
You know what else is ironic, Judge?
What?
Someone at this table, I'm not going to name their names, I'm not into that whole kind of thing, but they think they know everything about technology. And they've made a lot of predictions about how things would be better if we just had robots drive our cars. And I poo-pooed it, and then I was, mocked for doing so. I myself sat here at this table 1 year ago and said, these things are stupid and dangerous and are going to get people hurt. And some other person, won't say who it is, but they're a little arrogant, not Dana, and also to my left, and said that, this is the wave of the future and this is perfect. I'm still not going to say the person's name, but it is ironic, isn't it?
I think you're using the word ironic incorrectly.
Yes.
I'm only using it incorrectly because she used it incorrectly first.
Oh, there you have it. Okay. Almost 70% of the people, Dana, say that they're afraid of these self-driving cars. So why are they pushing them?
Well, I think it's because there's this quest for a green utopia that basically has the country in a hysteria, at least part of the country, and certainly Joe Biden. Remember, he's under a little bit of pressure because a couple of weeks ago when he was pressed by the media, he said, or in a speech, he said he had declared a climate emergency. Oh, it was the interview with the Weather Channel.
Yes.
He said, I've already declared a climate emergency. She says, you have? You have? Well, he hasn't, but imagine what would happen if he did. When was the last time the government said that there was an emergency? It was during COVID, and what could they do? They shut down schools, shut down businesses, make you wear a mask, make you do all of a sudden. So what could happen? Imagine what could happen if they declared an actual climate emergency, what the government could do. And part of it is this. And there's this green utopia that they have in their mind that they're going to get to. Maybe we will get there one day, but they're going too far, too fast. People are going to get hurt. I don't see why you couldn't create a little area and test these things out for a long time until we figure out if they work well.
That's what they're doing. That's exactly what this is. Everybody is scared of new technology. People were terrified of flying. People were terrified of cars. And you know what was interesting about automobiles driven by humans? We were okay with our relatives and family members dying every year, between, 50 to 100,000 people dying every year. We didn't even institute mandatory seatbelts until, the 70s? We had people flying through windshields. We didn't give a damn because we loved our cars. But now you have possibly the safest thing that could happen. And we're all going, no! Do you know that there's been one fatality, I think, from self-driving cars? They have done millions and millions and millions of driving. They're testing this out. Give it 10 years. We gave the automobile industry 80 years. We gave them 1 million deaths. You can handle a self-driving car. And you know what? You know what's great, though? Jesse, you're going to love it because that's going to give you more time to play with your hair system.
Okay. I stand with taxi drivers.
You know
I
what?
stand with Uber drivers.
Oh, you know what? Okay.
I stand with truck drivers.
What about horse-drawn carriages? Horse-drawn carriages.
I stand with horses, too.
Yeah.
And the men whipping them from the buggy.
Oh, no, that goes too
Whipping
far.
them to encourage them to go faster.
All right.
Gently.
Even worse.
Urging.
Up next, who hasn't wanted to do this? A pilot sick of waiting on a long line, going ballistic on a parking lot arm.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.